What is up? Welcome to Etsy Jam. In this episode, we have a handful of different ways that sellers are using Marmalead's high engagement keyword emails to improve their listings and their shop's success on Etsy. If you're a Marmalead entrepreneur or you've been thinking about becoming one and you're looking for some fresh ways to use your weekly list of the highest engagement keywords, stay tuned. What is up? Welcome to Etsy Jam, the satiating podcast where we have serious conversations. I am Gordon from Marmalead.
And I am Richie from Marmalead. And if you have an Etsy shop, you don't know what Marmalead is, you got to go check it out. Well, actually, wait, let me take a step back there. If you have an Etsy shop you're serious about, come check out Marmalead. If you're not serious about your Etsy shop, stay away. You won't like it because it is only for serious shops. And that is because Marmalead is the best Etsy SEO and market research tool for serious sellers. Serious with a capital S. And you can go check that out at marmalead.com, marmalead.com. What do you think about that, Gordon?
That was top notch.
Thank you. Satiating even?
That I dare say it was satiating with a capital S.
Excellent.
All right. You ready? Ready for another awesome Etsy Jam?
I am. What are we going to get sticky with today?
Let's see. Today we're talking about the weekly high engagement keywords email that gets sent out to all Marmalead entrepreneurs.
Nice.
On a weekly basis.
That
It'd be kind of
good.
silly if we called it a weekly email and sent it out monthly.
That'd be kind of crazy.
Nothing's stopping us. I guess we could.
We could.
We'd probably get a lot of feedback of people that are like, where are my other 3 or 4 emails? I don't get it.
You know, that could be good marketing, though. Gets people talking. People ask other people. They'll be like, hey, where's my weekly email? I only get it monthly. And they'll be like, what weekly email? Ha, got you talking about it. It's called guerrilla marketing.
Yeah.
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 It's a real term. It's a book on that. It's not spelled like the animal, though, is it?
Is it? No, it's not. You're right. It's not.
No.
Yeah. It's spelled like the warfare.
That's the one.
It's a good book, though. Yeah. So,
yeah,
our keyword emails that get sent out. If you are a Marmalead entrepreneur, you have been in the past, you probably know what we're talking about. If you don't have any clue what we're talking about and you're a customer, you should probably look into why you're not getting these emails. One thing you can do, it might have been that you unsubscribed from our other emails. No hard feelings. You're welcome to come back. So what you can actually do is pull up an old Marmalead email that you've gotten from us before, and at the bottom there's an unsubscribe link. You can click that unsubscribe link, even though you might have already unsubscribed. It's fine. It'll bring you to a site where it shows you the different categories of emails that we send out, and you can resubscribe yourself to those lists. But if you can't find a Marmalead email, or if that's not working out for you, you can always reach out to us at success@marmalead.com, and we'll get you hooked up again too, so you can get these keyword emails that we send out, which are hopefully pretty handy.
We hear they are.
Yes, we've been told.
We've been told. That might be why we're doing this jam.
Yeah, it's exactly why we're doing it. Yeah, we solicited some feedback on these keyword emails a while ago and got a whole bunch of people writing back to us, and it was really good feedback. And so we wanted to share some of that back with you guys. Obviously, when we started making these keyword emails, the whole point was to share, okay, here are some really popular keywords that people have found that enjoy high engagement. You know, we're always looking for high engagement with keywords that we're searching for our listings. So here, let us deliver these things to you guys and, skim through them. And if any of them apply to your products, then cool, right? Go ahead and throw them on there and use these keywords. And if not, that's fine. Maybe next week there's going to be something in there that'll apply to you. But when we heard back from people, they kind of shared some other reasons with us for using the keyword email and other things that they can get out of it, which we hadn't even necessarily considered when we first started building it. So we wanted to share that feedback back with you guys so that if you are using these, consuming these emails, you can, be thinking in these other areas too, that you might not have considered. So we've got 5 of them to share with you here. These are These are things that people have said back to us about feedback about the emails. And now the first one we kind of already talked about, is really getting keyword ideas for your listings. And this was kind of the obvious one to us. And this is one of the reasons that we wanted to do this keyword email in the first place. And so Stacy M from Grand Rapids, Michigan said, it does give me an idea of what others are looking for and some words I might be able to add to my titles. And again, like when we built it, this was front and center in our mind that it could be a good opportunity for people to look through and find quality keywords at different competition levels. I guess probably should have explained that at the beginning too when we're talking about this email. So people who aren't familiar with it, we have the different levels of engagement that we score within Marmalead. We also have different levels of competition that we score for a keyword inside of Marmalead, and different shops are able to compete at different levels. So even though you're using a keyword that is super high competition, you might not be able to rank for that. You might not be wanting to use that keyword after all, because it's not really getting you any traffic. You're not going to show up on the first 3 pages. You're probably not going to get a whole lot of views from that. And that's why we break things down by competition, so that, you can kind of see where you fit as a seller and where your shop is and what areas you can attack. Well, with the high engagement keyword email, we didn't want to just send out, here are the keywords with the highest engagement. Those are going to tend to be in the highest level of competition. And if you can't rank in that high level of competition, that's unfortunate for everyone else, for the rest of us, right, who are trying to work our way up to that, but we're not quite there yet. So when we made the email, we broke it out so that the very first section of keywords that you'll see is for very low competition. And pretty much everyone should be able to rank for the very low competition. And then it goes up from there. So we've got, low, moderate, high, and very high levels of competition. And each of those has their own section of the highest engagement keywords for the last week for that level of competition.
That was a mouthful.
That was a mouthful, and hopefully it made sense.
I understood it.
Okay. Then it must have made sense.
Sure, let's say that.
All right. So, obviously keyword ideas, right? That was like the first thing we talked about. The second thing, did you have anything to add about the keyword ideas, or should we move on to the other ideas that people were gaining from the emails?
Let's move on with it.
Okay. Number 2, the second thing we heard was from Kim F. in Los Angeles, California, who said, not only is it good for keywords to use, but it gives me ideas of possible avenues to pursue with my jewelry. So yeah, this is someone who's looking through these keyword emails, and even though a keyword doesn't necessarily apply to what she's creating right now, it's giving her ideas of different kind of related areas that she can jump into with her own jewelry that she's making.
Yeah, which of course is really important, right? Because you're always wanting to expand your shop and kind of stay on top of what's fresh. Especially when you're talking about fashion. I mean, look how quickly those things move. It seems like every year something's in and out of style. So, how else to keep up on it besides keeping going with it?
Yep. And so you kind of mentioned in there staying fresh, which is funny because that's what our third kind of area of feedback was that we got from people, was that they like to follow trends. And as you receive these emails and you look through them, you're going to notice that, certain keywords tend to show up more often and then they kind of fade away. And I think we jammed about this a few episodes ago, but it's a good way that people have found to stay up on trends, even if, like, again, these words aren't necessarily fitting into your listings, but being aware of things that tend to be trending at any given time and how long they're trending and when everyone's hungry for another trend to show up, it's very valuable information for a seller who's needing to list things online. So the feedback from this one was from Patty P in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, which is a lot of P's in a row. I don't know how that happened. I do look to see if any trends are in there. And it does make me think about related areas. I applied to some of the relevant tags to my listings yesterday and had some more views. So that's awesome. She's using these tags and getting more views out of these things because they do tend to enjoy higher engagement. And that's kind of the idea behind it. But she mentions that she's looking to see if there's any trends out there. And it helps her stay up on those trends, which is awesome. Like that's something I don't think we had thought of when we were building it in the first place. Should I hit you with number 4?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Number 4 is from Brian C. in Vancouver, Canada, who says, I'm using your email for quick market analysis to understand the trends for my product development. Also, I'm learning how the customers are funneling the keywords in their searches. And what I don't know if you want to go ahead and talk about the sales funnel a bit here, Richie, or if you want me to dive into that.
Yeah, I think there's two important ones there, and they're kind of correlated, right? So market research can be a lot of things. It can be product development side, and it can also be just kind of understanding how your customer behaves, which is what I believe is going on there with the funneling kind of idea. We talk about that. We've talked about that before, like long ago. And then when I was at the Flourish conference a couple days ago, I brought that back up. First time I probably talked about customer journey in like 2 years. But basically, it's about the different stages that everyone goes through when they are going to buy a product, right? At some point, you're not even aware you need a product, right? You might not even be aware you have a particular problem. You eventually become aware you have a problem, then you're kind of it's like, okay, I have this problem. How do I solve it? You don't even know what type of product you need at that point. And then you go to, okay, now I know what type of product, but now I have a variety. Let's say you want to do a podcast and you need a microphone, right? Like there's a lot of options there. All of a sudden you realize, hey, I need something to record my voice. Okay, how does the one on the laptop sound? Wow, that sounded awful. Okay, what else can I do? Wow, that one over there is really expensive. That's definitely not what I'm looking for here. This is not a studio album. And then you kind of just narrow it down. Once you get a nice, little group of them, you might have a particular term that groups these ones together, and then from there it's like, okay, I have like the Yeti or the blue option, which has like a Yeti, maybe a couple of them, and then I don't remember what those other ones are. There's who makes that, like ATR 1200 or whatever,
Don't know.
or ATR 2100. What kind of microphone do you have?
It's an SM57, but I don't know who makes it.
There,
Sure. Sure makes it. SHUR.
Sure makes it. Yep. Okay, there you go. So you've got the choice between like blue and Shure, and you start narrowing it down. So that's kind of how you'd funnel it down. And a customer for just about anything is going to go through that same process. So that'd be the funnel.
Yeah, and you can see this. So when I pulled up here the last keyword email that got sent out on the 17th here, just to give you an idea of how this kind of fits into some of the keywords in that email. Richie gave some examples there with the microphone, but if we look down at the very high competition section in that email, you'll see things like dainty, blanket, home decor. These are pretty generic descriptors. And there's a lot of different products that can fit into any one of those three things. But then as you start to get more specific, you get to lower levels of competition, right? Fewer shops competing there, potentially fewer people searching for those things. But that's okay because these people are getting more and more specific in their searches and they're getting closer to making the purchase. So you can see things like in high competition, there's unicorn party, knitted blanket, right? So getting a little bit more specific with those. Moderate, we've got what's a good one here? Name ring, couples bracelet. And then as you get down to low and very low, it starts to get super specific. Mason jar sconce is in there. This came up in our jam last time that we talked to, which is interesting. Simple silk dress, boho resin ring. These are pretty specific ways of describing things that people are looking for. And so you can kind of see, like Brian's talking about there in his comment, that at the different levels, you can kind of get inside the seller's head a little bit and see how, particular they are about what they're searching for at the different levels of competition.
Yeah, it's a nice application for it.
And then the fifth thing that we had was some feedback from Lisa K in Copenhagen, Denmark. And she said, it is very useful because it keeps me up to date with trending keywords and also acts as a reminder to keep reviewing my keywords. So the other use that people get out of this is to remember to kind of keep your keywords up to date. It's tough to do like a set it and forget it kind of thing. If you're serious about your shopping, you're serious about selling, and serious about, pulling new people in the door, you want to stay on top of your keywords. You don't just want to set them up, once a year and be like, okay, I'm done. Like that's I'm done. I'm good now. So she uses them as a reminder to just kind of look and see, is there anything out there that's a new way of describing the things that I'm selling? Is there anything out there that jumps out at me? And even if it's not a straight up keyword straight from the email, does it make me think of another way of describing my listings? So the boho resin ring. Maybe I'm not making resin rings, but I guess I could use the term boho to describe my headbands that I'm making. So I didn't directly pull that keyword out of the email, but it made me think in that way. And now I can jump into Marmalead and see, is boho headband a keyword that I should be considering?
Absolutely. I like to say the only thing that stays constant in the market is that it's constantly changing. And when you decide like, hey, my SEO is done, which we talked about in a prior jam, it's not done. It's not done. It might be done for the day, it might be done for the moment, but it's certainly not done. You can't just ride that out. You will ride that down the decline. That's how that's going to go.
Unless you mean it's done, like it's done for.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. It's terminal, right? Because everything any of us do has a lifespan to it. Look at bell-bottom jeans. I completely missed that. Then someone told me they were coming back. I don't believe it. Did those ever come back, Gordon? Well, you're my fashion thermometer.
Don't they do like the boot cut, which is like not as extreme as bell bottom, but it's like it's towing the line a little. I don't know if
maybe
jeans do that. I don't know. I haven't bought jeans in forever. I hate.
Yeah, but you look at jeans, right? Like you see other people like walking around, like you'd know.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, right? I don't think I've seen anyone wearing like the old school, like legit bell bottoms. Didn't people like used to cut them too and like insert fabric to make them even more bell-ish?
I don't know. I don't know.
I feel like I've seen that before.
See, I feel like. See, I could, but I haven't seen that walking around. I feel like I would have.
Yeah.
Kind of like when once in a while you see someone with those like, the bright like acid wash jeans.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa. Yeah. It's like I haven't seen MTV in a long time ago, but that looks like one of those like 90s music videos.
Yeah.
So again, trends, they come in and out.
True story. And then, so one of the other things we wanted to mention too about the email is when you pull open the email, we show you there's grouped chunks of keywords by the levels of competition, like we already talked about. Next to each keyword is a score that you'll see there, and that's the actual engagement score for that keyword. And they're in order. So obviously the number one under very low competition has the highest score for all of the ones inside of very low competition. And you'll see here that it doesn't always mean that the absolute highest inside of, very high competition is going to be the highest out of all of the different levels of competition. So for example, here under high competition, slime happens to get the highest engagement score of anything in this week's email, which is, that's kind of interesting. So, as a seller looking for keywords, you're probably going to want to find the ones with the highest competition or the highest engagement score. Highest engagement that you can for the level of competition that you can rank for. So by showing these scores over here, you can kind of bear those things in mind. If you want to compare words between different levels of competition, and if you want to compare words week to week, maybe you like to save some of these things off to a spreadsheet or whatever. By putting the score next to the words, you'll be able to see if that keyword shows up again in the future. You can see how the score changes, but it also allows you to compare, the engagement of a keyword that you're seeing in November with one that we sent out back in February.
Yeah, could definitely track that.
Yeah.
Now I'm kind of curious if anybody's doing that.
Yeah. And hey, if you are, let us know. Like, just because we, wanted to collect a bunch of feedback on these things a while ago doesn't mean we still don't want to hear from you guys who are using this email and the other things you're using it for. And if there's any extra information you'd like to see in here. Now, we did get some requests for more keywords, which would be awesome, except a lot of email clients, we're running into an issue where there's like a limit on the amount of information and text you can actually put into an email. So while we would love to throw, instead of the 15 highest in each category, do like the 30 or 50 highest in each category for each week, it's not really possible to do that straight in the email. We'd have to start sending you guys like a link that you could click on and go to inside of Marmalead and stuff like that. So we really wanted to be delivering as much of the value as possible to you, so that it's like minimal work. All you got to do is it's an email. It's already there for you each week. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to log in. It's delivered right to you. But yeah, if you have other suggestions, if you have things that you'd like to see, if you have ways that you're using this, we would love to hear those things too.
That we would. And it's important to note that that's for really just about everything, right? Like, we're not only looking for feedback when we solicit feedback.
Yeah.
But, all the time, we're interested in how you're using things.
Yeah. Like the jams.
Yes. I was going to wear a different shirt today because Tracy asked if I borrowed a shirt from you or if I wore a t-shirt at the Flourish conference.
Oh.
And but I did not wear a Gordon shirt. Right? His shirts are kind of up here. I guess t-shirts are kind of down here. But I did tell her I was able to get a polo shirt.
Oh, you went with a polo?
Conference.
I was kind of hoping
I did go
for the sriracha shirt. Maybe that's one of my favorites.
I thought about that because that's the image I sent over to them.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So for the bio and everything, I've standardized on the red sriracha shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the best photo I have of myself, so I didn't have
a good photo.
Choice but to standardize.
Yeah, it's a good photo. Allie,
I didn't choose it. Yeah. She did. I didn't know what was going on.
You didn't? I thought it was like a photo shoot.
No, I was just sitting looking particularly majestic at a playground.
No way. You just show up like that every day. See, in here I thought that she like saw your Twitter or something and was like, dude, you need a new photo. Let's go make this happen.
No, funny enough, I had asked her before, like, to take a photo. I was like, I need a photo I can just use, and we just never got around to it. But
yeah.
Then I saw that one and I was like, wait a minute.
That's awesome. Yeah, man. I mean, if you ever need to borrow a button down or whatever, let me know though.
So I told her I'd let the polo make an appearance.
Not this week though.
Not this week.
This week
the kids made sure of that we are.
Yeah.
But maybe next week or something like that, we could spruce it up a little bit. We could maybe put on like sport jackets.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
T-shirt and sports jacket?
I'm pretty sure that's the only way I know to go. That's what I should have done at the conference. But it's hot down here, man. It's hot.
Well, you had the tie
up there in Cleveland?
That one day you wore the T-shirt with the tie. You could have done that.
Oh, I did, didn't I?
Yeah.
Forgot about that. I did. Yeah, it's been like the 90s down here. So pretty consistently. So it's been pretty hot.
Yeah.
I've really been enjoying wearing a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, I don't like wearing long sleeve shirts with shorts for some reason. Seems off balance.
Yeah, I think most people don't do that.
Yeah. So I'd have to wear pants and a long sleeve shirt, and then the trade off would be I think I'd be really sweaty.
Yeah. Yeah. That doesn't sound comfortable.
No. It doesn't. So
But yeah, any feedback whatsoever, whether it's about the competition emails or the jams or wardrobe, you know.
Yeah, any of that really. Take that into consideration.
Yeah.
Not promising anything, but
No,
we'll take it
no,
into
no, no. But
consideration.
yeah, we'd like to hear and listen and learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think that's what we got. I mean, on the keyword, the weekly high engagement keyword emails that we send out. Hopefully, if you are already using those, you kind of gain some other ways of thinking about the words. Given that these are, I mean, this is across the board, right? So the chances that all of these keywords are going to relate to your products every single week is probably pretty low. Now, the chance that you're going to see a keyword every now and then in one of the categories that fits in with what you're trying to do is pretty good, I think. And especially if you consider you see a keyword inside of, let's say, high competition, it's a generic keyword. You can't rank inside of high competition stuff because you've tried before, and you don't show up on the first 3 pages. So, I mean, it's unfortunate, but it happens, right? So what you can do is apply some of the stuff that we talked about in our keyword decision tree jam last time and try to make that keyword more specific. See if when you do the search for that keyword inside of Marmalead, after you've made some tweaks to it, if you can get it to stay high engagement, right? So add some more descriptions to it, try to get that word more specific, even though the one that you saw in high competition does pertain to you and does describe your listing, but you can't rank for high competition. You can still try to make changes to that word and make it work for you.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah. So hopefully you got something out of it. Let us know if you have more feedback on the weekly high engagement keywords. If there's any other information you'd like to see, if you are making spreadsheets with this stuff so you can kind of compare things between months or over time or whatever, we would love to hear that as well.
Absolutely. Always interested in what you're doing and why.
Yep. But I think that's it. It's a short jam this week. It's like a half hour.
Let us know if you like that.
Yeah. Boom. Quick jams. And if you like it, we'll just end up making half-hour jams that are like part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5, and so on.
There you go.
No, we'll figure something out. We'll talk faster.
Well, I like this.
We won't cut out all the goofy stuff, though.
Nope. We'll just do it quicker.
There you go.
Yes. All right.
There you have it. So enjoy your weekly high engagement keyword emails. If you're not getting them, hit us up at success@marmalead.com and we will get you back on the bandwagon of getting the emails. But other than that, we will catch you guys next time on Etsy Jam.
Just a quick reiteration on that.
Yeah.
If they're not getting them and they are a current entrepreneur.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Yeah. We don't want just everybody emailing us saying, where are they? Because we're going to have nothing but, I was going to say nothing but bad news, but there is good news. The good news is if you upgrade, you will get them.
Yes. This is true. Important.
Bad news is you've been missing out on them for however long you've been missing out. And that obviously makes us sad because we don't want you to miss out on anything.
Yeah.
So you should fear missing out. I mean, that's a real thing.
And like we said, like if we find out that you unsubscribe from our emails and that's why you're not getting them, we're not going to hold that against you. It's okay.
Nope.
You know? I
get one-time free pass. Too.
I unsubscribe from a lot of things. Probably made some mistakes in my day. Sorry.
I think our emails are special.
We try not to send too many. Hopefully just good.
Yeah. We definitely try not to send too many.
Yeah. We're always sensitive to that, I think.
We are. We have an onboarding series. Like, we have a sequence, but that's because it's based on all the questions we get.
Yeah.
Like, we get a lot of, and we don't send those things, and we get a lot of those questions that people ask. So it's kind of easier to be proactive with it.
Yeah. It's a tough balance of, wanting to deliver the information and things that you might find useful right to you, so that you don't have to like go around looking for these things, and not communicating too much. You know, we don't want to like overwhelm you with things and be annoying with emails and stuff like that. But we do want to give you as much value as we can without you having to do the work for it. If that makes any sense.
It doesn't make a lot of sense.
Oh, forget it.
You get the idea.
There you go. All right. But now we're going to see you for real the next time. Then it's a jam.